trying lucerne chaff in the brooder. Like, she's got some chicks under there and some eggs. I know, I'm sorry. Thanks, Sherry. That was rude. I was going straight for under the belly. She's got some eggs and there's babies in there. I don't know if you can you see the babies? Yeah, you can see them moving, yeah. So I just cleaned everything out and I've used the same coffee lid. That's their water. It gets messy very quickly, but you need to fill it up quite a few times a day. I use a bowl like this for their chicken starter. Hello. You're coming to say hello to us. You're so cute. She's hatched some bantams, some Sebright bantams, and there's some guinea fowl eggs under her. We've yet to see if they were hatched. You're sure they're just so cute. So what I've done, I can't pat and film the little one. Anyway, I can pat you. You're pretty easy to pat. I know, you're a good girl. I treated her for mites last night because I just saw a little critter on her and I was just really worried. I mean, I treat all their nesting boxes, but you never know. The nesting boxes are timber, so they sit in them for so long. Anyway, so I cleaned everything out and then I put the pine shavings down and then I sprinkled some lucerne chaff on top. I figure, because this is prone to going mouldy, but I figure, see, look, she's eating it. But I figure it's not under her. I moved her because she was on the left. So I cleaned everything out of here, put down the fresh pine shavings, lifted her up. She wasn't happy, but once I got the eggs under her, she was okay. Then I helped the babies come across, but they can walk around. And I deliberately just moved the water over here. I find it's easier to have them just right out of the way. I've got a little camera here. And so I then sprinkled the lucerne chaff on top. And if worse comes to worse, if it becomes too messy, I can just totally take it out. It's pretty easy to keep clean. So they're only in here, depending on, I've had some baby birds with mummy in here just for 3 days, which is ideal, but we're just having torrential rains and flooding. And so I'm having to manage the baby birds very differently. Like, I've got another lot that I put into a nesting box that were in here. Had to take them out because this girl was hatching her eggs. And I really don't want to have more than one of these unless they're hatching at the same time, because the way they've all gone broody, it works out. There's a good week between them all. But I just put them in a nesting box in the doorway and covered it up with a towel. Because she wasn't ready to go outside. She wanted to come in. She kept coming in, so I let her in, put her in there, and then they'll get sick of being in here. They'll want to go back to the main enclosure. But I'm kind of relieved because it is so wet, and when we get torrential rains, that's when we lost 2 goslings and a chick. Just never saw the bodies. So. And these babies are bantams. I'm sorry, Mama. That's very bad manners. I know. I think it's always good to say hello to her before I just go under and steal a chick. Here's the chickies. Oh, here's one. Let me grab you. See how tiny, weeny tiny they are? I know, she's telling me off. It is not hurting. Look. So they're tiny little bantam chicks. I know, I'm cheeky, aren't I, Mama? I'm cheeky. Do you want some of this here? Do you want some water? You want some water? I don't like leaving the water on top of the bedding. Oh, and I put ag lime down in here too. I find she's telling me off. I've just been very bad mannered, so I just popped baby. I know, I'm not trying to steal her, but I don't blame you. Say, enough is enough, human. Enough is enough. You're a good girl. Hey? She's an Araucana wyandotte cross. I know. She's cute. She's beautiful. Her name's Mary. Well, I think she's Mary. There's two birds that just look identical and I can't tell them apart. So they became Mary 1 and Mary 2 and we don't even know which one's which, so it's sort of funny. Anyway, and their rooster's called Frank. That's my grandparents' name. But anyway, names. Years ago we had a horse called Frank. Anyway, so this is the little setup. And I like to just clear under here. I keep it clear underneath. So it's as low to the ground as possible and the baby chicks can then jump in and out and they're less likely to tip it over. Mum will tip those bowls over. When she's not sitting anymore, she'll get up and they'll start getting knocked over. And that's usually a signal that it's time for them to start going outside. But the problem is with the rain, we had to keep a hen in here. She had to stay in for like a week. It's really hard just to put them out into the rain. But even though it's been raining on and off now, I've got these little tables that I sit them under and so they can get some shelter there. So they're near here as opposed to the enclosure. That way I can just keep an eye on them. And the enclosure's not that far. I just prefer to keep an eye on them because everything I've heard about the Sebright bantams is they're very fragile chicks. And I've lost one. One died overnight. This is a week ago. And I've got some orphan chicks, and in that way I'm getting used to catching. I catch them every night and put them in a cat carrier and bring them inside. Anyway, but see, she should be eating the lucerne hay. She does this with the pine shavings, but I think she's eating the lucerne chaff. So it's good. And lucerne is high in protein and calcium. My goslings and my geese get lucerne chaff and chick starter. This goose breeder who's also like head of some show bird thing, he's recommended to feed them the goslings chick starter and lucerne chaff because the lucerne chaff gives them the protein that the goslings need. But this is just someone recommended putting brooders, this stuff in brooders, just then the chicks can eat it and they don't get caught in it. And look, she's eating it. It's great. See, it gives Mum something to eat. Cat just jumped in the window and she's going, ah. See, hear that? She's quite fierce. Yeah, bring the cats inside. We thought it would be so much tidier than having the dogs inside. Oh my God, was that a mistake? They'll stay inside. I just need to set up special cushions and towels for them to land on so they don't trap mud in. And we've still got some dogs inside, just the big dogs are outside. They've got their kennels just out the front. Yeah, they come and talk to us at the gate, don't they? They don't come in, they're good. They're very smart. She's listening to all the guinea fowl. See, that's the alarm. And the roosters, that's the alarm signal. So she's wondering what's going on. There were a lot of predators around yesterday, weren't there? Because all my birds kept coming inside. It was bizarre. And the geese tried to get inside. And then so I went out to see what was happening. And they were all hiding, all the birds. Roosters, chickens, duck, geese, goslings, all lined up beside our cabins, hiding. Duck down low, hiding under things and next to things. And I saw like a black and white bird. I couldn't tell what it was. I mean, it could have been a butcher bird, I suppose. I don't know. And I don't know if it's that, but when I went and got rid of it, they all calmed down. But it didn't seem that big, but I guess to a gosling it could, you know, if it just didn't seem big enough to actually harm a growing bird. But then we've got like a lot of chicks, but still like the duck and the hen and the roosters hid, that didn't have chicks. So I just thought that was interesting. I can understand the geese and the hens with their chicks hiding, because the geese got goslings. And but yeah, I wish I knew a bit. I want to learn more about the birds. Anyway, enough about all this, because we've attracted a lot of native birds. We have a family of brown cuckoo doves, which are native, and galahs. There's birds out the back. You can hear them. They're so loud. There's probably chicks just out the back, outside my window. Okay, but I'll leave it here. It's 10 minutes. Okay, bye.